Hey everyone, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Trifecta podcast. I'm Lee with my two other co-hosts, Jordan and Alex.
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
Hello!
What's up everyone? And today we will be talking about the updates for the past 2 weeks because last week we had a little technical malfunction with our software and program and we couldn't put out an episode, so we're very sorry for that. We've always
Very
delivered
sorry.
every week, every single week on time and everything like that, and last week we couldn't. We tweeted out that we could not make a podcast, so we're really sorry about that. We recorded the whole thing, full hour-long podcast, and then it kind of was not working out, and it kind of was like, oh, no, we don't
Corrupted
want you to
file.
work. Yeah, it was a corrupted file or something, so we really didn't appreciate that, and it's kind of sucked. But you know what are we going to do? We're going to make a 2 hour long, or try our best to make it 2 hours, long podcast on this updates, and these updates.
We're at least
are
going to talk about double the stuff. So.
Yeah, it's basically like double stuffed Oreos. You get more cream. So anyway.
I want Oreos.
Dude, me too. You just made me hungry.
I don't think anyone would not want Oreos. First of all, let's jump into our first topic. We're going to talk about all the updates this past 2 weeks, and we're going to start off with Social Slayer and the Gielinor Games preparation. Now, first of all, Social Slayer is pretty much like doing Slayer with a friend. It doesn't give any XP bonuses. It actually doesn't even give you Slayer points. The only thing you really get out of it is a fun time and some co-op points.
You do get Slayer points out of it.
Very little. Very little. You get about like 6 or 7 per task, or it depends what you do, what kind of task. I know for the lowest Slayer Master, you got like 3 points or 0 points.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it's like half, like, it splits it between your partners, like the original.
Right. So you would get the original amount of points, but it's half Slayer points. You just don't get, as good Slayer points, obviously, when doing it with
Yeah.
a friend. But anyways, it's pretty much just a kind of fun and interactive way to do Slayer with a friend. It's more, it's kind of a good update in my opinion because I like the fact that it's more based on the old school kind of way to play where you would do a lot of things with your friends, and it's kind of taking focus off the best XP per hour, and it's taking focus off of like having to grind the skill and whatever. It makes you have more fun with it. And it's actually a good update because now you could just sit back with your friends, hang out with them, and just finish Slayer and kind of do it occasionally and whenever you want. And it's just a nice little feel to it. It's kind of an '06 feel to it for me at least because you can hang out with your friends and still get stuff done. So I think it's a pretty good update. Jordan, what do you think about this?
I was there when it actually got updated, so I was one of the first people to actually try it out. And I don't know, it definitely is kind of fun if you like just chilling with your friends and you just want to go get the cute little ice strike worm. But it's kind of like I don't know. I think it brings out the worst in you because you're crashing each other.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But, I mean, the competition does make your speed up your kills.
It does. That does.
But I definitely would rather do solo Slayer because it is more XP. And I don't know. I think this update was a little too late in the game.
Yeah.
Like if this was released like 3 years ago, I'd understand completely.
Right.
But as right now, I know they're going to be
Yeah.
releasing a new Slayer Master later this year or possibly the next year. So maybe that might kind of make this a little bit more like you want to actually do duo. But with the amount of tasks you actually get from Kuradel, it's not worth it at all.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it does put it to where it's more like, well, do you want to have fun with your friend or do you want to get the best XP? And that's kind of what it comes down to.
Right. I mean, what I think of it is there's a few rewards for the co-op points. If you guys don't know already, obviously this came out 2 weeks ago, so we're really not, on top of the brand new update. But it came out 2 weeks ago, and there's co-op points that you get from completing Slayer tasks with your friend. And you can get potion sharing, the ability to share food, and there's 2 new Slayer pets, the baby Aquanite, which is 50 points, and the baby Ice Strike Worm, which is 100 points. And let me tell you right now, I did Social Slayer the first day it came out, and I did it with my friend, and we actually had a really fun time. It really brought back a lot of memories from 2006. I mean, we were doing the worst Slayer Master because, a little tip for you guys, if you don't already know, that the lower level Slayer Master, the guy from Taverley, he gives you really bad tasks, and with Social Slayer, you and your friend can complete like 12 ghost tasks in about 1 minute. So getting 100 points isn't a hard thing to do, and you can get the Ice Strike Worm pretty fast. I think it takes about 5 or 6 hours, and we just had fun, and it was actually really fun, like competing and seeing who could get more kills out of each other, because we would just fight for it. Like Jordan said, you want to compete for, the spots, and it kind of makes it slow or whatever, and it's kind of competing against each other for the kills, but it brings out the best of you, and it's fun because you actually like want to say, oh, I killed more than you, haha, you kind of want to brag at your friend, and make them try to pick up the slack a little bit, and that actually speeds up tasks. So it was actually really fun to do a full day with, and I was really happy to be able to get the ice striker on the first day, and it's the most adorable pet in the game. And honestly, I think it's the best pet in the game because it's actually an ice strike worm. It burrows under the ground, and it follows you wherever you go, and it pops up, it shakes its head, it bites your toes. It's called Freezy. It's adorable. It's just the cutest little fucking thing.
Yeah, dude. One thing I don't like about it is the, like, I don't know how far the distance is, but, like, you can be, like, 10 blocks away from your partner, and then, like, the kills don't count together.
Right.
And I feel like that should be raised at least, because, I mean, we'd end up, just a couple kills off of each other, even though we were doing the task at the same time. And, I mean, we were still at the same place, too, like...
Right. I mean, there is a very like small radius. I mean, it does work if you're in the same like dungeon. If you're in the same dungeon, it gives you the same amount of kills. But if you're farther away, if you're killing him in a different location, say as we had problems, we did guard dogs. I did it at the RD mansion, and he did it in Birthrope, and it didn't count towards your task. So you would have to still finish your task regardless. So it wouldn't speed up anything.
I mean, I was in, like, Black Demons in the Chaos Tunnels in that little resource dungeon, and we'd be on the opposite sides, and, like, it's still within the same dungeon, and it wouldn't even count.
Really? That's interesting. I mean, they really should fix the radius to at least the same dungeon.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, I totally understand, like, being in two different spots, but just the fact that it even kept happening, like, when we were doing Suquas as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's really weird. I mean, I didn't know that it was, like that. I mean, we didn't really have that problem unless we went to different locations to kill them, because then we had that radius problem. But they should increase the radius to at least within the same dungeon so that you guys don't have to worry about where you're standing. So I think that could be fixed and that could be made a little bit better. But Social Slayer is just pretty much a fun update. It really wasn't an update. It was more of an add-on into the game. There was really no bam update like with good rewards or, nothing new. Like, no Slayer Master, no Game Breaker. And it was just nothing new. And it was just, kind of just a little add-in. And it wasn't a bad add-in. It does give you a fun aspect of the game, and I like it. It is a little past its prime, like Jordan said. You could have maybe had this update about 2 years ago.
But, I mean, it has to come in sometime, right? So
right. So, I mean, at least it's
better now than 5 years from now. So.
Right. It's nice to see Slayer getting an update, because Slayer never really gets updates very often. They add some Slayer dungeons every now and then, but it doesn't get anything really big. So it was nice to see that you can actually co-op kill Slayer with your friends. So... Anyways, moving on, we have the preparation for the Gielinor Games. Now, the Gielinor Games should be coming out later this month, and what the Gielinor Games are is like a kind of Olympic kind of feeling to RuneScape, I guess. It's kind of like an Olympic event, and there's a bunch of rewards you can unlock, and there's a bronze tier, a silver tier, and a gold tier, just like the medals in the actual Olympics, and you have to spend at least 5,000 points to get to the gold tier. So that's a lot of points, and I know with this preparation thing they added into the game, if you go to Varrock Middle, it's just like a daily thing, like, if you were to mine flasks, or if you were to buy battle staffs, it resets at whatever, 8 p.m. Eastern time for me, and basically all you do is you go there, and you mine basically gold nuggets, and you turn them into gold medals, and you also mine these fragments and turn them into steel pillars, and then you make 3 different kinds of dishes, and you turn it in for points every day, and if you've been doing it every day for the past week, then you get points built up, and right now I have about 1,300 points, and I've been doing it ever since it came out. So it's really nice to be like halfway done with unlocking the shop rewards for the gold tier, because on the gold tier is 2 new emotes, which, as you guys all know, I collect emotes. So I really want those 2 emotes. I want the gold torch that you can hold, and I want the outfit for the athlete outfit. So I think it's really cool to get those things. It's kind of like a fun little event. I don't know how the games are going to work. I don't know what we're actually going to be doing, but hopefully it's easy to get points, or else all of this stuff is going to be very difficult to get, and I don't want that. So
something about cheese rolling, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be a rolling cheese event.
Cheese rolling.
Yeah!
Let's go. I'm not
tweeting.
Drugs. Right, Ahmad tweeted about cheese rolling, and you have to roll cheese down a hill or something. There's gonna be different kind of events, and it's not really Olympic games, but it is kind of games. I kind of think it's gonna be like the Skull Ball that is located in Canifis. I think it's gonna be something like that, where you kick a ball and you have to get it through a goal. And I really don't like that, but you know what? If I only have to do it a few times to get the rewards that I want, then so be it. It's just like a little mini event for the Olympics, and I think it's a pretty good addition. What do you guys think?
Sounds good. Just a little addition, like a holiday event. And that they've never done something like that for the Olympics, so I mean it's kind of cool that they're jumping on that.
Yeah.
And it seems like they've always had, like, recently they've had an event for like everything, like every other week. Seriously.
Right, like they had the Diamond Jubilee, which they've never done before.
Yeah, I mean that was just Olympics. Like literally a couple weeks ago too.
Yep. They had that, and they have random things now for all the holidays. They had like Brazilian Party Day or Fiesta Day, where you got that crazy hat.
Talk like a pirate day, and they did that a couple years ago.
Right, it's really weird. They've just been having these random holidays, and the Olympics, I mean, obviously it's not a holiday, but it's definitely a big thing, and it happens every 4 years. So I guess this is a chance that they can implement something. They have the, technology, and they advanced enough to put like an Olympic kind of game set into the game. So I think that's pretty cool.
And it's kind of cool that everything's kind of seasonal now. I mean, we're always getting something, something new, something holiday-ish for, being a reward for playing
Absolutely.
at that point.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a decent add-on. I mean, it's not like 100% necessary, but I mean, it's something, yeah.
Right.
I'd rather have fixed server lags, but that's just me. I'm just.
Well, of course. I mean, I think we all want fixed server lags, but that doesn't happen instantly. They need money to support servers and obviously broaden their horizons. But I mean, it's not a bad addition. I mean, Jordan, you really can't think of like it's free stuff pretty much. There's no money.
Yeah,
cost.
but it's free stuff that is pointless. I'm all right. I'm gonna all right. Be honestly, you're gonna unlock the athlete thing,
Right.
but then you're just gonna instantly put it in your junk tab or try to put it in your house.
Right.
And our friend Ant, he's gonna try to destroy it because he thinks it's ugly.
Right. I mean, I that's exactly what's gonna happen. It's really I'm gonna play the game to get the rewards that I want, which are the torch, the outfit, and the emotes. And after I get that, I'm never returning. So I mean, it's
well, in
true.
3 years, when somebody's like, "Wait, what is that?" and you go pull it out from your house, you do a little emote, and you're like, "Oh, look what I did 5 years ago," and then
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's going to be cool to have. It's going to be kind of like a holiday item that no one can really get again. So I'm definitely not going to miss out on this. And like Jordan said, it's going to be pretty much dead content, but it's going to be fun for a week or fun for a day, in my opinion.
But I mean, that's how all holiday events go. I mean, it's just
Right. It's just a little thing that they added into the game. Obviously, they could, work on fixing servers and stuff, but I'm sure that's to come. And I just really appreciate the fact that they added some new emotes, they added these outfits, and I really can't wait to see them because all I've seen is little teaser pics, and I'd like to see the actual outfit and stuff. So I can only expect the best for it. I really hope it comes out pretty cool and it's kind of fun to do for a full day because it's always fun doing something new. Anyways, moving on. 3 days ago, the 10-year veteran cape was released. Now, that was the update within itself, and it also came with a Solomon shop, which I'll get into a little bit later. But the 10-year veteran cape is a red or a burnt red or dark red, whatever they said. They were stressing the fact that red is out and dark red is in, or whatever it said. And it's a red cape with an X on it and a bunch of other lines, and it's basically for if you had your account for 10 years, then you got this cape from Hans for 100K. And he's the same guy who sells the 5-year veteran cape, and I have one myself. And the 10-year veteran cape, which requires you to have your major account in 2002, it is not really anything great. I mean, anyone who has it pretty much doesn't wear it anymore. I mean, it is pretty new, so you do see people with it, but pretty much it's just
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just a regular red cape.
Particles.
No, if they gave it particles, then it would be too flashy. I don't know. I don't think it's worthy of particles.
Well, I mean, something it just you've been playing for 10 years. I mean, that's pretty much an accomplishment. You made the game a whole bunch of money just by,
It's not necessary. It's not necessarily playing for 10 years. It's having your account for 10 years. So if someone made their account in 2002 and then quit and never played and logged in 2010 and 2012 and got membership, then they could get this cape, which is,
right.
That's why I don't think it deserves particles. I mean, I think it deserves particles if the person has membership from 2012, which someone actually posted on the forums.
We talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah, they said that the 10-year veteran cape, they're like, can I get a trim version of mine for having 10 years of constant membership? And I looked at his little time code on the forums, and it says, last membership July of 2002. And I was like, oh my god, he's got 10 years of constant membership to this update. And I was like, wow, that's nuts. I think he should get a trim version or something. He should get a banner saying he's fucking legendary.
Yeah, no doubt. But I don't know. It just feels like, there's no motivation to really wear it and show off that you've played for 10 years. So, I don't know.
Right. It's a cool cape. It kind of looks like the veteran's cape for 5 years. And it's a 10-year veteran cape. It's got an X on it, and the emote is actually a player jumping up in the air and turning into a golden X, and then he falls down out of the sky, obviously. And Jordan has a video of it on his channel. I will link it in the description below. You should check that out if you want to see what the emote looks like, if you haven't seen it already. And that's pretty much it for that cape. That's really all that was mentioned in the post here. It just tells you that, all of the additions in 2002. It actually says a little history lesson, which I'll read off right now. It says, the gates of Gielinor had barely been open a year when Ardoon made its first appearance on the map, and the poor, or should that be rich, Carnelians first fell victim to the heinous Haziel cult. 2002 was also the year that Tutorial Island welcomed many new visitors to RuneScape, and many an adventurer also met their demise at the hands of the newly arrived King Black Dragon. So it was pretty cool to see all of the things that happened within 2002. They give you a little history lesson, and they introduced the 10-year veteran cape. So that was on the news post, but then we're moving on to the new update, which was also 3 days ago. That was pretty much released a little bit later than the 10-year cake. That was the main release, and then they like put up a sub kind of update, and it was the Solomon's General Store grand opening. Now this store caused a lot of controversy, a lot of controversy. A lot of people were aggravated. A lot of people were saying this is real world trading. Everyone needs to relax just a little bit. Everyone's got their mind so far up Squeal of Fortune's ass that they don't really like read or take into consideration that the Solomon's General Store offers no in-game benefits, or it doesn't provide a higher sense of accomplishment than another player just because it's in here. This is pretty much a purely cosmetic store as of right now. Obviously, they might add stuff to it, who knows. But this is an update that it is an added thing to your Squeal of Fortune tab. You've got Yelps on
which is now your real world trading tab.
Which is now, the real world trade tab, kind of. It's Yelps on the top, and then you've got Solomon on the bottom. And basically, Solomon's Store is a store where you take rune coins and you buy actual outfits, emotes, or animations, and it really looks cool. They actually did an amazing job with the animations and emotes, and everything looks really, really sick, which everyone was so busy hating on just for the fact that you have to spend money to get stuff in the shop, that no one really took into consideration the time and amazing factors that were involved in this general store. And what I think is awesome is, first of all, you get 200 free coins, which allows you to get either like a revolutionary mask, one of the sword things, the bow things that cover up your weapon,
couple of emotes,
or an emotes. You got two emotes probably, or a title. It's pretty cool. So I like the fact that you got 200 free rune coins, and that was nice. Obviously, they want to let people try the shop without having to spend money. And then they had their, you have to buy rune coins if you want anything else. Now, personally, I've spent $20 on the store because I'm an emote enthusiast, and I like to collect all the emotes. And that's one of my goals in RuneScape, is obviously to unlock every emote. And amongst the store, I saw that there were 5 new emotes. But actually, there were 6. You can only buy 5 of them. And the other one is involved in the Assassin's Pack, which is $50 or $40 US money. And you get the Assassin clothing, you get the Assassin title, the Assassin teleport animation, and the backflip emote. So I was really upset that they didn't sell the backflip emote by itself. And that's pretty much my only complaint about the store, is that they didn't sell the coolest stuff by itself. They made that into a pack, and obviously it was on purpose because they want to get the most money out of people. And I totally agree with that. I mean, I understand that they're a company, they have to make their money somehow. They have to implement this kind of microtransactions in the game. And so many people are like, oh, this update sucks, their updates suck. But what game do you know has updated every week pretty much for the past 10 years? None. There's no other game like this. This game gets updated constantly. Even if it's a bad update or something you don't like, there's definitely a cool factor within every update. Even if it's useless, even if you hate it, even if you don't agree with it, there's something in there that's cool or interesting, and they do a great job every week. Jagex does a great job as a company, and no one understands that. And I am saying a lot about this right now, but this store basically just sells cosmetic things. It's not like the Squeal of Fortune, and this is not real world trade, it's marketing. Real world trade is if something benefits you within the game, or gives you an advantage over another player. And I have a whole blog post about this on my new blog. I'll link it in the description as well if you want to check out my post. It really is worth reading and checking out if you want to read the whole thing. It's basically my opinion on this whole thing and in microtransactions in general. So check it out if you want to, and I'm going to pass it up to Jordan. What do you think about the Solomon store?
Alright, and my opinion about the Solomon shop, it is likely said it's nothing bad, it doesn't influence the game in any way, it make any player better than the other, which is definitely good finally, because the Squeal of Fortune kind of, it definitely off-put a lot of things, because you can basically buy XP, and I don't know why people are like, oh, well, next they're going to be where you can actually buy XP. They already did that. Hello, the Squeal of Fortune. But other than that, it's just cosmetic items, dude. Chill out. It's not even bad.
Yeah.
If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. Like Lee said, he's a collector of emotes. That's why he bought it. He didn't want to, but he did. But I mean, it's not bad at all, and it's nothing really to worry about in the future. It's in the future. Right. Play the game now. Stop stressing. I'm tired of seeing all these posts and threads about they're ruining the game. Stop playing. Quit.
Yeah, right.
Go buy.
Don't bitch.
Leave us alone. I mean, seriously, I'm tired of people bitching.
Right.
You make the game more uncomfortable than it has to be.
Right, and that's what I mean. What I'm saying here, just interjecting really quick, is that basically people are all like, this is just the beginning. And yes, it is the beginning of microtransactions, but it's not RuneScape's fault. Actual Jagex, who runs the company, has investors, and the investors are pretty much battling with RuneScape. And RuneScape, half the mods don't even want the Squeal of Fortune in the game. Mod Wrath doesn't even want the Squeal of Fortune within the game. He said it publicly. He says he doesn't like the idea of it, he doesn't like microtransactions, stuff like that. But they can't do anything about it because their investors take over that kind of thing. So it's kind of like a war between them to put out microtransactions and not. And I really know that Jagex doesn't want to do this stuff, but they have to do it because that's how they make the game run. And they obviously want RuneScape to run because they love the game and they love the time they put into it and how successful it's been over so many years. So it really is not their not their problem. They do it because they have to do it, and they're supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. So obviously this is just the beginning of microtransactions, and who knows what can happen in the future with buying gear or buying stuff.
Friendsless space.
Right, or buying stuff indirectly. Who knows? But whatever it is, don't worry about it because it's in the future. And you're not going to worry about it right now. Just enjoy the game right now. If you don't like it, then quit. I mean, no one really wants you to stay and bitch about it. If you really can't take it and you don't like, whatever, obviously you don't want to leave something that you played your whole childhood with. But, just leave the game if you're really unhappy about it. If they're not going to change anything. Right, they're not going to change anything just because you're upset about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the shop it's kind of nice. I like that even though they're needing to get more money, more income, and they did put it in purely cosmetic. Yeah, the only thing is I'm getting a little bit jealous of all the other people with the demon teleports and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, it's so much money.
Right.
No, but yeah, the stuff's a little bit too expensive for my taste, but it does look good, and I think they put a lot of work into it, so. But they did add a new Assassin's title, and I just have this thing about, the titles from the rewards shop and the loyalty rewards shop and from the Solomon's thing, because, they don't really represent anything. Like, okay, you're Bottega the Assassin, but you
haven't assassinated anything.
Yeah, you could be level 3 and not a complete skiller, and you're the assassin. And it just doesn't represent anything. That's why I choose to use War Chief or something that you actually have to earn, and I wish that's what they would, more stuff like Fire Lord and
Right, more titles that you actually have to unlock and achieve.
Yeah, if you get I don't know, a 99 and something, you'd be like the defense kid or something, I don't know.
Right.
Obviously not that, but
right, like the Protector, and you have 99 defense.
There
or something
we go.
like
Now
that.
you're thinking.
Or the strong, obviously 99 strength, or the accurate attack. Anything like that. When you achieve the best in something, you should unlock a title.
Or completion, or something.
Right, the completionist, like Regicidal the completionist, and that'd be really cool.
Wouldn't that be sick?
That'd be pretty dope.
Right, yeah, it'd be really cool.
Something that you can earn. That's all I'm saying. That's my rant on titles. All right.
Right, I believe that's pretty cool. You should be able to unlock titles for that reason. You shouldn't be able to have the assassin if you're a level 3 skiller and stuff like that. Obviously, if you want to be, they're just cosmetic titles, but it would be cool to unlock your own titles like War Chief and like Fire Lord, all that other stuff. So,
just my opinion.
Right. In general, the Solomon shop is not that bad of an update. Everyone's freaking out about it. Everyone's like, microtransactions. You don't have to buy anything. They're not forcing you to buy anything. The only complaints that you could possibly say about this, which is just common complaints, is that the pricing is a little bit too high, which trust me, they're going to have more package deals, and they're going to, incorporate a lot of deals so that you can pay the least amount of money for the thing. And the other rant is the ad that pops up when you log in members. Yes, we pay members to not get ads anymore, but what it is, it's a new update. They're advertising it just right now. Once the next update comes out, it's not going to be there anymore. It's just brand new. They're trying to get the word out about it. That's it. They will remove that ad. Don't worry. It's not staying with you forever. It's not, the Squeal one went away. This one will go away. I promise. And the other complaint is obviously that the package deal right now is that, you can't buy them separately, like the assassin outfit or the assassin title or the backflip emote and other things like that. So in general, just relax. Literally, it's just a cosmetic shop. Obviously, the things look cool. It's something that should be looked at as more of an improvement within the game than something that's hurting the game. Because if you look at some of the things, there's a Pegasus home teleport thing, which I have, and I absolutely love it. It's sick. It is amazing, and it's just, I've seen this game transform so much. I played so long ago to the point where I saw my 2D character walking slowly into a village, and now I'm watching my character call a Pegasus, jump on it, giddy up it, and run right into the sky. And it's insane that it actually flies up into the sky, and it's sick. That's so much different, animations, and just, it makes my jaw drop that they've done so much with such a small Java-based browser game. And it
that's
really opens up the
something people
window.
need to look at is just that the fact that this is all running on, online Java browser. I mean, they're so limited into what they can actually do, and the amount of
Absolutely.
stuff that they've done with this game, and coding on top of coding on top of coding on top of updates every week. It's just ridiculous the amount of stuff that they've been able to pull off, and I'm amazed. At
Right,
the
blown
stuff they
away
can
by
do.
it. It really is amazing, and it's something to like really appreciate that they've done so much with so little. And it's crazy that they actually took a Pegasus and made it fly. I mean, you know what that opens the doors up to? That could lead up to a riding skill. That could lead up to mounts like horses and travel time increasing 1,000,000. It could lead up to so many things that you guys don't even understand. This just opened up a small window that can lead up to a house full of doors. It really is just insane what they can do with all the stuff they did. They made a demon pop out of the ground. They made a Pegasus fly. They did so many sick things. They made a breakdance emote where you spin around and kick your legs. You can pretty much do parkour. It's sick. It really
Yeah.
is sick.
Oh, that'd
So-
be kind of cool if we could just do like natural parkour, like across buildings. In
Right, I
RuneScape.
think they should make an agility update where they do like change that, where the animations you can actually do parkour. Like if you have to climb up a stairway, you can instead like just climb up the building or scale the
Yeah.
building. It'd be cool, like if you had agility had like a parkour kind of thing. You know how they have shortcuts. If you added like a parkour option and you got like really good at like just doing things like maybe you could do a handstand on a bench and gain XP. Who knows? Just like free running, it'd be pretty cool. But obviously parkour wasn't really in the medieval times age, so you can't really incorporate that, but who knows, they might. So
I don't know, dude. Jumping's always been fun. So
yeah, it would be a cool addition. But anyways, that's the Solomon store in a nutshell. If you want to read more about my opinion on it and check out more of my feelings and kind of input on it, then check out my blog. It's in the description below. And
yeah, it's really well written. I like it.
thank you. It's a really long post. I know I know people don't like to read in 2012, but take the time and read it, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it and maybe look at it in a different way. I compared it to a Call of Duty map pack, and you'll see. If you just read it, check it out, please. Anyways, moving on to the Twitter section of this podcast. We've just reviewed 2 weeks of updates. Let's get some Twitter in here.
Twitter.
First tweet from @LRavenDwell.
Ravendwell.
He says, liking the podcast so far. Good job, guys. Thank you very much, Luthtar. His name is Luthtar, so thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man.
@LegitLegends1 is the next tweet. He says, hey guys, keep up the good work. Really enjoy these. First topic of the week person. So the first topic of the week guy just gave us a tweet. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're chiming in on the Twitter game.
Yeah, glad you're sticking around.
Yup. Thank you for tuning in with Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Next up, we've got @ProLifer2, and he says, hey, love your podcast so much, guys. I have a question/topic. What do you guys think of getting 200 mil skills? Now, that's a good thing. I'll let Jordan start this one off. What's up?
Well, I was actually talking to Lee about this yesterday. I'm actually about to be max cape, and Lee's like, so are you going to be going for a completionist right off the back? And I was like, no, I actually want to go ahead and get a couple 200 mil skills.
Mhm.
And
What
I'm
do you
all
plan
for
to
it.
get?
I'm actually thinking either starting off getting magic first, or
That's nice.
actually I might be getting 99 smithing.
Right, major
Or not
range.
99 smithing, 200 mil smithing.
Right. Major range would probably be the smartest right now before the combat rework, so that you can do the monkeys and stuff like that. It's probably the smartest idea.
But I'm all for 200 mil skills. It's definitely like a it's Suomi territory, and he's definitely put a lot of people's money into it, not his own. But that would be definitely cool to get your own 200 mil.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just a big long-term goal that I think people have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it really shows what you shine in the game, like what you really love to do. And I mean, other than just being, placed permanently on the high scores, it really shows that, I've done the most that I possibly can in this skill. And, that's something that, I mean, maybe not so much liked, but, just what you've done in the game, really.
Right. I'm actually personally disappointed that the global messaging to like about 99s and about completion escapes doesn't include 200 mil. I'm surprised they don't broadcast when someone reaches a 200 mil skill. Obviously, there's no fireworks. You just pretty much complete the skill, and there's no cape. There's no actual achievement, but
And
you
I'm
are
glad
maxing
there's
out the
no
skill.
cape or achievement.
Right.
But,
Absolutely.
I do think there should at least, show off that, like, okay, here, this guy got the max. He's now on the high scores. I mean, that's a major achievement.
It's
Right.
like, hey, he got his place on high scores forever, you know.
Yep, you earned your spot on the high scores. I think it's awesome. I mean, I'm gonna be going for 200 mils eventually. Right now, I'm just enjoying my comp cape time and my, just doing all the updates that come out. So I'm not really worrying about 200 mils. I don't have any funds to actually get 200 mils, so I'll probably get something that requires no money. Maybe
I'll be doing
thieving,
defense or
maybe thieving or
cutting.
strength. So who knows? I really don't know what I'll get yet, but I'd love to get fletching because that's one of my first 99s, and it actually was my first 99, and I don't have the funds for it yet, but I'm going to try my best, and that's pretty much it. So what I think of 200 mil skills is it should be broadcasted to the public. It is an achievement, and it should be recognized. There should be no capes, there should be no emotes, there should be no anything for getting 200 mil because you are just completing the skill.
Yeah, obviously Jagex, it doesn't support, the I don't think they support getting 200 mil skills.
Right.
Lee had more to say about that when we tried to record last week.
Yeah, I was saying that basically they don't want to, support 200 mils because that leads to like chronic playing and like something like Suomi. It's not healthy. It really isn't healthy to play that much. I mean, obviously there's a lot of extremists out there who are healthy and get 200 mils. Just as an example, Blocks is a pretty healthy person and he's pretty, he's not big, he's not, overweight, he's not anything like that, and he's gotten 200 mils and he's, in the top 50 in RuneScape. So it really isn't that bad, but it supports the kind of wrong morals of the game. They don't support, going that far in the game because it could lead to bad, just bad overall health. So I don't think they want to support that kind of thing because they can get in trouble with that, or they don't want to support that much. But obviously they enjoy seeing like Suomi getting, the max XP possible in the game. It's insane.
Yeah, and I really hope that they keep it that way because I mean, as we've seen before when they release skill capes or completionist capes or max capes, it does motivate more people to get to it, and I think that 200 mil should just, it should stay something that like, oh, you want to get this because that's something you enjoy doing.
Right, absolutely, I agree. Anyways, thank you for your tweet and your question. Moving on, we've got at Neo_Quester. He says, as a quester, I feel it's unfair that my quest cape can't trim or get a benefit. Do you think quest cape should have a trim, boost, or telly? Now, what I think about that is the quest cape should have a trim. I think that the cape they should release with it is the task cape. If you finish all the tasks, then you should get the cape, and it would trim the quest cape respectively. I don't think there should be a boost, technically, because okay, what are you going to boost? And I don't think there should be a telly because you unlock all the tellies and you unlock all the things and all the benefits from doing all the quests. That's why the quest cape is worth getting. And that's my personal belief on that, is the quest cape should be trimmed because I think there should be a task cape. I think that would be a nice little trade-off, quest cape and task cape. And I just don't think there should be any benefits that are extra because you get all the benefits enough from the quests that you do.
Right. And I completely agree with that. Thinking, just about the task cape and Taskmaster emote could be the little emote for it, and, just something simple like that.
Right.
I don't know. Who even wears a cape?
Yeah, that's true.
There's so much better capes than the quests, so why even bother make it trimmed? I mean, I like the idea of the task thing.
Right.
That's definitely kind of cool, but I think I would get it and never wear it.
Right, but you can't say in general who wears the quest cape just because there's people out there, you got to remember that you're looking at the lower level base and you're looking at the other people who just play this game. Some people might just play for the quest. I know that people play games for the quest. If you were a main quester, you probably play World of Warcraft because that's all based on quests. And I think you can't really, just say, who wears the quest cape because there probably are a lot of people who wear the quest cape that are proud of that cape and that,
it
are
is an accomplishment, yeah.
Right. It absolutely is an accomplishment. So you can't really say who wears that cape anymore. Obviously, there is better capes, but some people are very proud of their achievements. So
I don't know. I feel like there's way better capes than the quest capes. So I don't know.
I don't think it should be ignored, though, is the thing.
Right. I like the idea that it's original and it's different because it's got no trim, but it would be nice to have a task cape to go along with it.
It would still be original, like, oh, wait, we came up with a new task, you have no trim, ha!
Right, exactly. You'd have to do the tasks when they release and stuff like that to keep your cape. Yeah. Anyways, thank you for your tweet and question. Next, we've got Justin Dutch, and he said, I would like to hear your guys' opinion on the lack of very high level content, because nothing in the game is hard at the moment. Now, what I have to say about that is there is a lot of high level content, to be honest. It's just not really... Yeah, it's not really incorporated very often. I mean, it's like there's a max cape, there's a completionist cape, and then there's some hard boss monsters. Like there's the Queen Black Dragon, which is currently the hardest boss monster in the game, in my opinion. It takes a little bit of tactics to use. It's easy if you get the hang of it, but if you go right off the bat, it's very hard, and it's something different that you're not used to. It's a different kind of fight. It's only soloable, so it is high level content. But once you get used to it, it is easier, and it's not really hard. But it's still high level content because you need to be of a high level to kill it, because I don't see any low levels killing the QBD, to be honest. And same with Max and Comp Cape, that's high level content. You've got that stuff, but after that you really don't have that much stuff. Everything's pretty easy. I mean, Nex is another high level content thing, but you can team that. So I mean, I think that there should be more high level content, but in its own time. I mean, it'll come eventually. They'll make more high level updates, they'll make more things to do, but right now they're just balancing some of the things that are off, kind of like the combat rework, what they're doing with that, and they're trying to make everything more balanced. And after that, then they'll make more high level content and make more things that are challenging. But they're working on it. I mean, the Calfight King is going to be challenging. Of course, the Calfight Queen alone is challenging as hell. She's one of the hardest boss monsters in the game, in my opinion. She constantly hits 300s with range.
Yeah,
So,
I just wish she spawned faster. I mean, that's the only reason I don't go there. I mean, it is a challenging boss, and it does, it has the D chain, but
I mean,
I
it's not
wish-
profitable really anymore because the D chain
Yeah.
is 3 mil, and it's not really, like I said, it's not profitable, and it does take 5.
it is fun though.
Oh no, it's fun with a group, but it's a 5-minute respawn. Basically, you have to hop worlds every time you kill one, and I've been doing that lately because I'm going for the Calfight Queen head. So
Yeah, I need to get one too. That's the only reason I was thinking.
yeah, exactly. So it's definitely hard, and the Calfight King is going to be harder, and it's going to be stronger than the Queen Black Dragon, they said. So that's going to be interesting to see. So that's definitely going to be high level content, but just wait for it. I think there's going to be more high level content eventually.
The thing about high level content, yeah, there is content, but there's not a whole bunch to do. Like you can do the Queen Black Dragon, but I mean, how much time does that take?
Right.
Yeah, there is a lot of high level content that people really don't look at.
Right.
And Lee kind of mentioned that with the skills, they just think about just bossing.
Right.
Yeah.
And they are slowly introducing high level content. The Queen was a good start because I don't know many people that went in there their first try and like, oh, this is easy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I remember Lee basically ranting my phone of all the bullshit he went through, trying to kill it once.
Yeah.
And that was the first day, so they are getting into the stepping stone of raising things for us. But if they introduce something really hard right now, I don't think with what we have available to us can handle it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, eventually, Nex armor is no longer going to be the best.
Right.
And so, even prices, are reflecting off, the combat, evolution and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't fully understand that, at this moment. But, there's going to be better stuff in the future. So just remember that if they release something super hard right now, we can't handle it.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's like Jordan said. Right now, the armor we have isn't going to really, defeat that. And if they make something harder, they have to have the stuff to kill it or use against it. I mean, obviously, everything can be killable, but it has to be able to be done. Like, when you say high-level content, you're not talking about extremist, I hope not, because if there's something that's impossible to kill, then they wouldn't put it in the game because it wouldn't be fun and not possible. No one would put something that's not possible in the game. So, yeah.
As they tried to do with Sunfreed, but that's not really that hard.
Right, exactly. I mean, Sunfreed was kind of hard, but I mean, once you got used to it, just like QBD, it became easy. So that's really what we think about high-level content. There's going to be more Calfight Kings coming out, and another, few other updates are coming out that are going to be difficult. So there's a lot in store, and I'm sure we haven't seen the last of, hard content. So next, we've got @/and_hack, and he said, what quests are worth doing? I mean, quests like Desert Treasure for Ancients, or Monkey Madness for Dragon Skim, or Orcs. So, I don't really understand the full question, what quests are worth doing. That's why I'm going to take the root of that, what quests are worth doing. Definitely some quests that are worth working up to. Recipe for Disaster is a big one.
Definitely.
It achieves a lot of quests. You get to finish all the quests, you get a lot of rewards from those quests, and after that, I mean, I believe it requires Monkey Madness to finish Recipe for Disaster. It requires Desert Treasure, Cook's Assistant, all these other quests involved into it. And you get the Varro's Gloves, which are the best gloves in the game that aren't breakable. So I really think that that's the best thing to do. That's one of the better quests to do. I think While Gothic Sleeps is a better thing to do. You get a lot of XP, you get some money, you get about 2 mil, and you get 400k XP. So I think that that's a good thing to do. Obviously,
Grandmaster quest, really.
Right, any Grandmaster quest, really, like he said. I mean, it does take a lot of quest points to do While Gothic Sleeps, but obviously the road to that will be worth it. So that's what I think about the quest. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know what level he is.
Right.
I don't know what he can really complete, but yeah, like I said, Grandmaster Quest, Nomad's Requiem, that gives some really good rewards. You get the Soul Wars Cape, which is best prayer bonus in the game.
For a cape slot, yep.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Let's think. Low level quests. Anybody ideas on like?
All the quests worth doing, elemental workshops, spend 8
Oh yeah,
hours of
no,
your life
those
on
have some
them.
pretty good rewards.
Yep.
Elemental
Yeah, right.
Workshop 3. I think 3 is the best one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
okay.
Get
I
some
don't
cool
know.
boots.
I don't know if you guys are getting the sarcasm, but Elemental Workshop quests suck. So yeah, they're not.
I think. Oh, here's a good one. The Regicide. You get the Crystal Bow.
That's a pretty good one. I mean, distilling coal is difficult, and I hated that part of the quest. But
Yeah.
you do get to unlock crystal equipment, which is pretty cool.
And Roving Elf. Well, no, it was actually Roving
Right,
Elves.
Roving Elves unlocks the crystal stuff, and Regicide unlocks the Dragon Halberd.
And Roving Elves is not a long quest, so yeah, after you unlock the Dragon Halberd, you can get the. So yeah, I think you should complete that quest line. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah.
what am I thinking? The best quest you could do is Smoking Kills.
Smoking Kills is a
You
very
can start getting Slayer points.
yes.
If you don't do Smoking Kills, you get.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a quest that's worth doing. Is definitely Smoking Kills. It's a lower level quest that you can do, and you unlock the Slayer helmet ability. You can build a Slayer helmet. You can do all this other stuff. You can unlock broad arrows. You can unlock Aqua Knights. You can get Slayer points to do all that stuff. So that's a really good quest to do. Definitely.
Or the Turmoil quest to get that quest line to
Right,
get.
Temple of Seniston.
Temple of
Seniston. Yep, Temple of Seniston. So basically,
Contact.
I'm gonna list the basic ones you should do. Is some of the quests that I suggest doing is Temple of Seniston, Nomad's Requiem, Monkey Madness, Desert Treasure, Smoking Kills, Recipe for Disaster, and the Wild Gothic Sleep series. So I think those quests would all be worth it in the long run. So hopefully that helped you out on that. Next, we've got at @A_Alex with 3 X's and 91. So at
Nice name.
Alex 91. Jagex has mentioned what around in 2014 there will be new skills. Your prediction on future skills. Personally, they're releasing a skill at the end of, I think, 2013. I think it's the December of 2013 or January of 2014. Who knows? They said around then. Probably will take longer to be in the
They're
game.
just giving Suomi some time.
Yeah, right. So I don't know what they're gonna do really. They said that they wanted to combine 2 different skills and make it into one, or make 2 different skills at the same time.
Yeah, no, I think they had two ideas and then they're putting it into one.
Right. I'm not really sure what they want to do, but I think that a really cool kind of idea would be riding. I know that I said this earlier, but I think a mount kind of like, learning how to ride things, or something with summoning familiars, tying in summoning to make it more useful. Like maybe you can ride your pack yak, ride your unicorn, with this Pegasus thing. Like I said, there's so much, abilities that you can do now, and they have so much opportunities to make something great.
Feels like an agility update though.
Right, yeah, it could be. I mean, it could tie in agility, if you think about it. It does increase travel time. So who knows if you'll have to incorporate agility, summoning, who knows?
That'd be a really good agility update if you had high level agility and you could ride some cool stuff and ride faster.
If you were 99 agility, you could ride on horses or fly on stuff. I mean, who knows? Like it could be like, you're lightweight enough to ride on a horse or something. Who knows? I mean, it'd be really, there's a lot of opportunities there. So I really don't know, but I think riding would be definitely a cool addition into the game.
And I think a cool skill that could be incorporated some type of way is like a ninja skill.
Okay.
Like evading NPCs, or like say like you're PKing, you can evade someone by like having a high level ninja.
Right.
Like you can like just vanish,
Kind of like a parkour skill, kind of like a ninja skill. Something to incorporate with agility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be
something like to get you out of trouble.
Right, like if maybe you can increase your run being a ninja, maybe you can like teleport 5 squares away to evade danger.
Oh, but that's Surge.
True, that is Surge, but that's the combat rework. Who knows if what's being implemented in that? But who knows if that Surge thing could be part of the ninja skill? Who knows? Like it could be part of anything.
Yeah. How about swimming? You swim around places.
Swimming wouldn't be bad. I mean, it is pretty much, they did swim in medieval times, so it wouldn't be a bad addition. I mean, it's kind of like sailing or play your own ports. That'd be pretty cool if you could swim from town to town, because then you could actually get on Tutorial Island.
And then you could do diving stuff, but I don't know how high level swimming would play out. I mean.
Right. I mean, obviously you'd have the fishbowl helmet and the apparatus, the diving apparatus already. So who knows if that could be extended into a skill, and you can actually deep sea dive. Maybe that could increase fishing opportunities. Maybe that could increase, who knows? I mean, there's a lot of options with that as well. If you did swim, you could also swim to Tutorial Island. You could swim to other places. I mean, it'd be pretty cool. So who knows about that? But that's our prediction. I mean, we got like riding kind of skill, a ninja kind of skill, a swimming kind of skill, something to do with water. So who
don't
really
really
knows?
don't really predict any of those, but
Yeah,
you know,
we're not
they
really
probably have
predicting
some like super original idea, like when we were trying to predict what dungeoneering was going to be, nobody had it. So
Right. That's what I agree with. So we're not predicting those skills, but we think those would be pretty cool additions to the game. So anyway, that's all for the Twitter responses this week. I'm glad you guys tweeted at us, and thank you for tweeting at us. Make sure you follow us at Trifecta Podcast and send us tweets so we can feature them on the podcast next episode. So anyways, we're moving on to the topic of the week. We got 2 of them this week because we have to make up for last week. So first topic of the week is by King Kane Jr., and he said, topic of the week, what's your favorite holiday event and favorite discontinued item and why? Also, what's your best memory as a noob in RuneScape, and do you think that they are unoriginal now at Jagex HQ? So there's 3 different parts to that question, and I'm going to start off with the first part, and we're going to go around, then we're going to ask the second part, and then the third part. So the first part is, what's your favorite holiday event and favorite discontinued item and why? My favorite discontinued item would have to be Scythe and Bunny Ears. Obviously, I don't have those at the moment. I wish I did. They're awesome. But
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe they can implement them back into the game somehow. Maybe like, every 10 years they release the Bunny Ears or Scythe through the events, and, that way people can get it again. Obviously, a lot of people would be mad about that, but, I think it's a great idea if people would definitely play again if they can get a Scythe and Bunny Ears. And my favorite item that I actually have would probably have to be the Easter ring or the bones thing, so that you can pretty much like a ring of stone, so you can transform into the thing and you can pretty much film better with it. I mean, I used that so many times in RSMVs when I made those, and they were so helpful to get out of the shot and not be in the shot and still get the shot before the Orb of Oculus. So I really think that those were 2 of my favorite items because I used them a lot. So that's probably my favorite kind of thing. And my favorite holiday event? Wow. I don't know. I really like the Halloween series where you had to climb over the spider webs and you had to go through that slide, and that was a really good, definitely a good event.
Yeah,
I
I
liked
really
that
like
one a
those.
lot. And I also liked the one where you threw snowballs at each other and you had to go through the snowman land and whatever. So I thought those were 2 cool, interactive events. I mean, the ones they have recently are really terrible, like egg hunting, doing a penguin hunt, and I can't stand that. Like, that's not even an event. That's just, you going around every day for the whole week and collecting eggs or seeing eggs, and then you get an egg exterminator, which is a pretty much shitless, terrible reward. So I don't know. I think that they've been slacking on the holiday rewards recently, but hopefully
Same.
they'll make them better. But whose holiday events and whose favorite discontinued item is what?
Jordan?
I think my favorite holiday event was actually right when I started RuneScape in 2004. It was the zombie,
Mm-hmm.
and the zombie was running around the lumbered swamp, and we had to go chase him down and take his head.
Take his head. Yep.
That was
And
2004?
Yeah.
Dude, I've
yeah,
been playing since 2004.
yeah. And so I don't know. It may sound kind of lame, but back then it was really cool because
Right.
nothing has ever been incorporated like that.
Right. Absolutely.
I guess my favorite item that would be in the game that would be considered holiday, definitely the scythe. I do not own it. I'm not one of the lucky son of a bitches. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't think people would be as mad if it got reincorporated because most of those people don't even play anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there are the few select high level players, but they can go away.
They should make it to where if you've been playing for a certain amount of time, you can reclaim the holiday events that you missed,
Yeah. That'd be pretty.
And they did that with the
the emotes.
what? Not the emotes. It's the where you can reclaim the clue things. They allowed
Oh,
us to
Cryptic
get
Clue
all
Fest,
those.
right, you can
So why
keep
can't
getting-
they do that with the rares?
Right.
Not the rares. When we're talking about the holiday
Paladin.
items.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the untradeable ones.
Yeah,
Right,
so,
the cryptic clue stuff would basically you basically do the cryptic clue 1 year, and if you miss the year after that, and you do the 3rd year, you get all the items that you didn't get. So that would be pretty cool to incorporate with the holiday
So-
items. But yeah,
and no one complained. And I don't think people would complain about it because I think there would be more happy comments than negative.
right. The only negative comments would come from the players that already have those things and wish that
I think
other people
they
would
go
have.
away.
Yeah. What do you think, Alex?
Okay, so favorite holiday event I'd say was, I don't really remember it much, but I was a noob at the time, so it was awesome, and it was the Christmas event where there's a giant Christmas tree in Varrock, and you went and you did Santa's workshop, and you built a whole bunch of
Yep.
the puppets and
Marionettes and shit.
yeah, you built the marionettes, and that's what you got, and all those scarfs and stuff. And I really liked that event. I
Yeah.
just remember having a whole bunch of fun. I don't remember too much of it because I was a kid, and
Mhm.
but I do remember having a whole bunch of fun, and that was one of my favorite events to do.
Right.
And I'd say some of my favorite items are definitely the scythe, which I don't have, the the Easter ring, which I wish I had, but in between my first account and the account that I play on now, I wasn't playing, and that's the one event that I've ever missed, like in the time that I'm playing, and it was Easter ring, and it was something awesome, and I was like, ah.
Right.
I was really glad that there was, a Ring of Stone, which was at least, an option to do the same thing. So
Right.
those are my two, and I'd say if one of the favorite ones that I have, probably well, I don't have it on my main account, but the scarves are probably one of the favorite things that I have.
Definitely. So that's our favorite holiday events and favorite discontinued items. Pretty much everyone said Scythe. I mean, I like the bunny ears as well because I like head slots. So, anyways, second question of this thing, next second part. Also, what's your best memory as a noob in RuneScape? I'll start that off. It's not a great memory. It's not a really, good memory. It was actually a sad memory because I actually lost 50 mil. And I was in World 2 trying to buy a Bandos God Sword. They were 50 mil at the time. They were brand new. And I had 50 mil. I saved up from doing whatever I was doing, either with, God Wars or Slayer, and I had 50 mil cash, and I wanted to buy a Bandos God Sword, and some guy said, hey, Regicidal 1, come over here, and, I have this offer for you, whatever, and I was like, okay, so I went and listened to him, and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a personal drop party for you, I'm quitting, I have party hats and stuff, and he showed me his party hats, he showed me his cash, I'm gonna have a personal drop party for you. Here, he gave me Varrock Telly, and he said, come with me to the Wildy, and I will, have a personal drop party for you. So I telly to Varrock, he gave me the teleport, went there, and I knew that this sounded like a scam or something. I mean, I was new back then, so I really, didn't know, but I had a kind of clue that it was kind of fishy that someone's having a personal drop party for me, and I thought I had teleports in my inventory to get out of the Wildy if, he lured me in there, so I thought I had the runes for it, but I'll tell you what happened later, and I go into the Wildy with him, and he's like, okay, so he runs into the Wildy, and he drops his blue party hat, I think, or it was a purple party hat, I forget, and like a giant cash stack, and I see it appear. He's like, all right, go and get it. So I had my 15 mil cash on me, and I had my teleport runes. So I go in the Wildy, and I ran up, and I saw no one in sight. There was no white dots or anything. So I grabbed the cash, I grabbed the party hat, and I went to turn to leave, and I got frozen by an ice barrage, and it was actually the beginning of the glitch where someone was standing on a hill, and you wouldn't see them on your mini-map, but they could see you in game, and he froze me, and he DDS backed me out, and I hit telly, and it said, I do not have the runes to teleport, and I looked at my inventory, and instead of 1 law, 3 airs, and 1 fire to telly to Varrock, I had 1 air, 3 fires, and 1 law, so I kind of messed up my runes, and I would have got away with a purple or blue party hat and like 50 mil cash plus my 50 mil cash, but instead I lost my 50 mil cash, and I was pretty upset. I got lured, and I got scammed.
Obviously, that's a really old scam. Nowadays, nobody would really fall for it.
Yeah.
But back then, I mean, it's...
Back then it was brand new, and no one knew about it, and I lost everything to it, so it was kind of upsetting. But that was my noob story. I was pretty newbie to fall for that, but Jordan, share your noob story with us.
I actually wasn't kind of a noob. This is back when, I had like 23 mil RuneCraft XP in like 2005, So, I was pretty much banking with Party Hat Set, and it was 2006, and everyone knows this as the Valley Massacre. Yeah. I was there. I did get killed, but I didn't lose anything because I was smart. I knew what was going on. But just seeing the intensity of the stress and some guy whoever it was, I forgot, but he was just running around, just ice bearing people and just totally messing up. And I got killed, and it was funny. And that was probably one of my favorite memories because it was just so epic.
Yeah, dude, sounds awesome. I mean, I remember watching the videos of them, and I mean, just some really cool stuff. So yeah, I wish I was there for that, but obviously I wasn't. So one of my favorite noob memories, and I didn't mention this last week because I just thought of it recently. Okay, so me and my friends one summer we went F2P PKing. We were all members, but for some reason we liked to PK in free to play because you couldn't get frozen, and we didn't have the magic level for all the high level spells and whatever back then. But so we wanted to PK in free to play, and we'd go up in full rune and rune sim and up to the greater demons, and there wasn't any Skype back then, so we actually did like 3-way phone calls. And it was ridiculous, and I think I was in like 8th grade or something, and so we'd do this like every day. We'd wake up and call each other and be like, all right, get on, come on, we're gonna go PK. And so my favorite one out of all the ones that we did, we found this guy, and he logs in. up out there. I don't know if he was part of a clan or part of a, I don't know, but he had full rune on, and this was like a big deal. Like if he PK'd full rune, it was amazing. So
Right.
he had full rune on, and he starts to run away, and we're like getting him. But the thing is, when he started running, he was running north instead of south, and so he runs north up to the wall, realizes it's the wall, and then he starts running back down. And this is non-member, so he doesn't have any run energy at this point. He starts walking down,
Oh,
and
God.
I swear he would have made it. He would have made it if he didn't make that mistake, and he did. And obviously we got his stuff, and we PK'd his full rune, and we were all so happy. And we were like, oh, I called the plate, I called it, and it was just so much fun to PK like something like that, and
That's definitely fun.
So yeah, that's one of my favorite new memories, and I'm really proud of that. So
Anyways, we have the third part of this is, do you think they are unoriginal now at Jagex? No, actually they are extremely original.
yeah, definitely.
They are very original in what they do. All the stuff they do is pretty original. I mean, sometimes you see some things that are related to World of Warcraft, maybe related to Diablo, maybe related to who knows what other games. There's other games that affect everything, and everything affects everything, to be honest. When another game sees something interesting that another game does, they honestly do copy it or put it in their own kind of way. And obviously, there's some inspirations from other sources, but they are very original in what they do, and they constantly put out original things. That's my opinion.
Yeah, definitely, and I think they have some really good brainstormers at Jagex, and people who are thinking up their ideas and their quest lines and everything. I don't see like anything with the quest lines that we have, and it's really detailed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my opinion.
I think Jagex is original in their own way. This game is based on everything in the world with a Jagex spin. If you haven't noticed, there's like relations to the new Torva looks like the guy off Lord of the Rings, and
Right.
They got the Queen Black Dragon from the movies Aliens.
Yep.
Because they wanted the queen to be big and massive, and the grot worms that get spit out
Yep.
is like the babies that come off the queen.
Yep.
So Jagex takes everything around the world and gives it a little Jagex spin, and that's their game.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so
and
they
they
are
have
original
this-
in their own way.
And they have so many references. If you go in like quests and just song names, everything. There's so many
Yep,
references.
there's references to everything. They actually put, and
It's-
if you look on Wiki, there's actually the references below on like all of the
Yeah.
things it mentions in the quest. So
Yeah, it's there's just a masterpiece of artwork, really, of the amount of like references to literature and music and everything within this game. So I think they're very original in the way that they incorporate a lot of things into the game, and everything that they do at Jagex, really.
absolutely. Thank you, King Kane Jr., for your topic of the week suggestion. And our second topic of the week suggestion comes from Ken Film Productions. We've seen your name, I think, maybe once or twice. I think more than that, but we've seen your name a few times. Topic of the week: if you were to build your own quest line, what skills and storyline would you incorporate in the quest? Would it be a beginner or master quest, and what would you call it? Jordan, start this one off, bud.
I would make the quest called Bojiga. And
oh yeah, and then what would the quest line be?
you basically have to make a song
Oh. You're gonna make-
because the actual Bojiga can't sing, so. And so yeah, you have to teach this little kid Bojiga how to sing and how
I'm
to
guessing this would be
become
a beginner quest.
Oh, beginner call. Go.
and no skill required because he has no skill.
All of my fans are super supportive.
No
of
skill
Ninja.
required because he has no
music.
skill.
And yeah, so
Oh, fuck you guys.
that would be my quest line.
Oh
To you,
god.
Lee.
Alright, so anyway, Jordan's suggestion wasn't really a real suggestion for this quest line. He pretty much said that there's a Bojiga quest where you have to make a little kid sing, and it would be a beginner quest with no requirements because he has no skill. So anyway, other than bashing members of our own podcast, for
Somebody's gonna get kicked in the nuts after this.
if I had to build my own quest line, it would have to do something with a king. And obviously that's kind of predictable because my name is Regicidal and I have to kill a king for power. I think that there should be a new town or something new, and there's a king involved in the town, and the quest is basically a quest line of this king. And there's, say, maybe you got a king, you've got a prince, you've got someone like the heir to the throne, and you're this guy who's trying to go for power, and you're like fifth in line. And maybe the first quest is defeating the first king, and the second quest is defeating the prince who takes the new throne. Who knows? Like something to do with that, and it would be like I don't know, it'd be an intermediate quest to begin with, and then the last one where you have to overthrow like the last king or the your own like friend or something like that
Your
for the
father.
or your father for the throne, right? If you have to do that, then that would be like a master quest or a grandmaster quest, and you would get like heavy rewards. You would get maybe a different kind of throne in your construction house. You would get money, maybe like 1 million coins for a bounty or something like that. You might get a new sword or a new scepter. Who knows? There's options for that for any kind of king rewards, and I would call it something, probably something after myself, like Regicidal or something like that. I would call it actually, you can actually name the quest Regicidal 1. Get it? Regicidal 2 and Regicidal 3, 4, 5. You could do that, but I mean, that wouldn't be a very good name. But I would call it something like The King's Command, or, The Heir to the Throne, or Watch the Throne, something cool like that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, something like that along those lines.
And I don't have anything as specific as Jordan's or as specific as Lee's, but I would like to see something like if I was to do a new quest line, something that unlocks a new town or like a main town, because I mean I'd like to see some another Varrock or something like that, and maybe even like a sky quest which involves more uses of the skyboxes graphic feature. I don't know, something like that. Unlock some new armor or something. I don't know.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh wait, actually, if I was to add on to a new one of the previous series, being the Proselyte series, I want to see them make the new armor for that, making the rune equivalent one.
That would be cool. Initiate, Proselyte, and Adequatarian.
Yeah, it begins with an A. I don't remember.
And something Paralatot.
It has a whole bunch of letters that don't really make sense.
It's just gotta have shit at the end. Initiate, Proselyte, something like rhyming with shit or lit or
adrenaline shit.
Yeah, adrenaline is shitting in.
Adrenaline is shit.
Who knows? So
I don't know. All right.
That's what we suggest for quest lines. I think that we have some pretty good suggestions, except for Jordan's.
Oh, great. What are you talking about?
Dude, I'm gonna kick you in the nuts.
I would love to see a beginner quest and see if they actually incorporated his name into the game. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I would love to be in the game. That's something like just a side little thing.
You already are in the game. They have a quest after you.
That's true. Regicide. That quest definitely came before me and actually inspired me and my new favorite word of Regicide and all that. But it would be really cool to have an NPC of myself in the game, or be kind of like involved in the game in some way. But anyways, that's the end of the topic of the weeks. Thank you for submitting your topic of the weeks, and be sure to comment on this video on what you want us to say for the next topic of the week. And yeah, whether it's a question, whether it's needing help or advice, let us know and we'll try to answer it to the best of our ability. Make sure you thumbs up the best one so we can answer it and know what you guys want to hear. Anyways, before we go and before we sign off, we have one announcement. School's coming up soon in about a month or a month and a half, and we are not going to be able to do weekly podcasts. What we're going to do is we're going to change it into monthly podcasts at the end of every month and review everything in one whole podcast, whether it's an hour long, 2 hours long, 3 hours long, maybe 5 hours long. But we're going to take the time and spend one whole day recording a podcast to sum up the entire updates for the month. And I think that's the best way, because it's going to be so hard to get in contact with each other while we're all at different colleges. We're not, going to be involved in YouTube, as very often. I mean, I'm going to still make my daily or weekly videos, and I'm going to still do my thing, but adding this on top of it and getting each other together and trying to run off the same schedules is going to be very hard. So we're going to switch it to a month and guarantee you guys a month podcast every month, and that is going to start
maybe more.
So yeah, maybe more, who knows. But this is the last podcast of this month, and we will start the next podcast next month. But we hope you guys enjoy this. We hope you guys stick with us. Remember to follow us on Twitter at Trifecta Podcast. Make sure you suggest stuff, so we have a lot of stuff to review in the next month. And we would love to hear from you guys and have the support from you guys. But we hope you understand. Obviously, when the next summer rolls by, we can do weekly ones again. But as for now, we need to take a little break because we only have a month left of summer. And we're going to review each update in its whole month. So that's what we're going to do.
All right.
So anyways, we hope you support that. We hope you guys understand. And that is what we're going to be doing. I hope you enjoyed this pretty long podcast from us. We went a little bit overboard because we had to make up for last week. We hope you enjoyed, and we hope you got a lot of skilling done while listening to this, or a lot of PKing kills. Who knows what you're doing while you're listening. Hope you did a good job in whatever you did.
I'm kind of curious as to what people do when they do this, so comment.
Comment below on what you do during the podcast, whether it's
No. I want y'all to comment if y'all would like the Bajiga quest to
I'm
actually
gonna
take
kick,
place.
dude. You better say goodbye because Jordan is not gonna be alive for the next podcast. Okay. I'm gonna castrate the shit out of you.
All right, so comment 3 things. 1, if you think the Bogiga quest line will be a good addition to RuneScape. 2, what you do while you're listening to the Trifecta podcast. And 3, the topic of the week suggestion. Comment those things and let us know. And we are signing off for probably a month. Who knows? We might make one sooner. We'll see, but hope you guys enjoyed. We'll talk to you in the next one. Later, everyone.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Comment.
Peace out.